It's that time of year again, where many of us will be setting goals. Some will stick, but many will fail. So today, I thought I'd share a few ideas on 6 books that have resonated with me over the years. We'll touch on creativity, quitting, communication, and the highs and lows of setting goals. Welcome to Bob's Book Club, and today is all about setting goals. From the 1200 or so books I've got behind me, I've selected 6 that I believe can really help you make a difference. Now these books are ones that I've had for 10 years or more, and they're ones that really resonate with me, and I'll not only dust them down on an annual basis, but also throughout the year, especially when it comes to starting new projects, when faced with difficult challenges or important decisions. Now these books I'll also use for not just for personal goals, but also for business goals, financial goals, and health and fitness. Before we get into it, it's worthwhile remembering that you should review your goals throughout the year, not just in January. And so here's my 6 books that I believe will really help you navigate the highs and lows of goal setting. First up, we've got this book here. It's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. Written by Paul Arden. Now, Paul Arden was the creative director at Saatchi & Saatchi for many years, and this book is an absolute classic. It was first written in 2003, and I've had this copy for about 15 years, and it's one of my most thumbed copies I've got in my collection. What I like about this book is it takes a real creative approach to goal setting. It does what it says on the tin. It's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. And just in the opening pages, we have 3 examples. Why do we strive for excellence when mediocrity is required? I just love this statement. And here we are, I do it for me. So how good do you want to be? And I just love these pictures. Images of quite good, good, very good, the best in your field, or the best in the world. And then there's a lovely quote by Victoria Beckham. I want to be as famous as Purcell Automatic. For those of you living outside the UK, Purcell Automatic is a brand of washing up powder. So what I love about this book is every time I pick it up, I feel that 2 inches taller. It makes me feel better. And that's one of my first lessons here about goal setting. Good goals will help you feel better, and the best goals apply a creative approach. My second book is The Dip by Seth Godin. The Extraordinary Benefits of Knowing When to Quit and When to Stick. Now this book is genuinely the book that I've read the most, or the most frequently over the years. It's written by Seth Godin, and it's got some amazing illustrations by Hugh MacLeod, who's also one of my heroes. Now the central thesis behind this book is that there's this common misconception that winners never quit. And what Seth Godin does is he turns that on its head and says, in fact, winners quit all the time. It's about knowing what to quit and when to quit that counts. And so if you're struggling with setting goals, achieving goals, or you're finding yourself in that unfulfilling career, then this could quite possibly be the book for you. Published in 2007, I've had this book nearly 15 years, and I'll revisit it at least twice a year. My big takeaway from here is it's okay to quit goals, but sometimes you need to double down on them too. My third book is Goals by Brian Tracy. How to get everything you want faster than you ever thought possible. And this is an absolute classic. It's almost like a Bible when it comes to setting goals. It's a great reference book about the benefits and principles of goal setting. Now I've been listening to Brian Tracy for about 21 years in my car. And Brian Tracy calls it like the university on wheels. So if you haven't heard of him, then I'd certainly recommend that either download this book or one of his other books to listen in the car. I'd certainly credit him with helping me develop my positive mental attitude. And in fact, that's probably the takeaway from this book. When it comes to goal setting, if you've got a positive attitude, then it'll make goals easier to accomplish. My fourth book was written by an Olympic rower, and it's Steve Redgrave, You Can Win at Life. Now this one was published in 2005, and it's just as relevant today as it was back then. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Sir Steve Redgrave, he's an Olympic champion. And not only has he won Olympic gold, but he won Olympic gold at 5 consecutive Olympic Games. his last one being in Sydney in the year 2000. When you think about winning a gold medal that's 4 years away, how do you break that goal to make it meaningful today, tomorrow, next week, the week after? And that's what Redgrave does in this book. He provides a system that enables you to break those goals down into bite-sized chunks. And that's my key takeaway with this book: break those big goals down into bite-sized chunks. Book number 5 is A Dream with a Deadline: Turning Strategy into Action by Jack Horowitz. Now, this is a brilliant book when it comes to communicating your goals, how to break them down, structure them, set a deadline, and then present them back to either yourself or others. I've used it lots of times in project management or when communicating a company strategy. And so my big takeaway with this book is draw a simple diagram, preferably a temple structure. And the ability to add a deadline to that diagram will help inspire you and your team. Keep it simple. And last up, we've got The Path of a Doer by David Hyatt, a simple tale on how to get things done. And what I like about this book is it's not just the yellow cover or the yellow stock that it's been printed on, and I do like a yellow book, but it's a wonderful gem that paints a wonderful picture in simple terms and in a way that we can all relate. So great, we've got our goals, we've broken them down and we've put a deadline on them. How hard can it be? Well, the truth is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And so the big takeaway from this book is, when it comes to goal setting, expect a bumpy ride, but it'll be worth it. Enjoy the ride. Okay, so they're my 6 books that I would recommend when it comes to goal setting. What we've discussed is goal setting is much more than just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Armed with the principles of these 6 books, you'll achieve so much more. 1. Goal setting is a creative process. It'll make you feel better. 2. It's okay to quit goals, but double down on those that matter. 3. Develop a positive attitude. 4. Break goals down. 5. Structure goals with a deadline. And 6. Enjoy the journey. I've put a link to all the books discussed in this video in the notes below, and if you've liked this video, then do give us that thumbs up and click the button to subscribe. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Bob Buckley, and I look forward to seeing you again on another edition of Bob's Book Club.